Well, President Cyril Ramaphosa is one of 14 world leaders whose phones may have been hacked. According to Amnesty International, his cell phone has been identified on a leaked database that forms part of the Pegasus Project, which was investigated by 80 journalists from 10 countries. Other names on the list include French President Emmanuel Macron and Pakistan's Imran Khan. Well, to help us delve into this conversation, let's speak to tech expert Toby Shapshak. Toby, thanks for joining us. Toby, how does the software work?
Well, we don't really know, but we can have an understanding of it from how software generally works. So what it is they are able to hack into phones, especially these very secure iPhones, which I'm speaking to you on now. And they use what's known as zero-day exploits. So those are vulnerabilities that the operators or the manufacturers of the software don't know about. And using these techniques, Pegasus is able to infiltrate someone's phone without them even knowing about it. And it's believed this is the software that was used to infiltrate Jeff Bezos, the recently retired CEO of Amazon, a couple of years ago, bizarrely in a conversation with the Crown Prince of the United Arab Emirates. And they're one of the countries that's emerged, has been interested. So what has happened, as you've said, is that Amnesty International was given a cache of 50,000 numbers. NSO, the Israeli company that makes it, claims they haven't used this, or they don't know what the database is. But the journalistic organizations, including The Guardian, which is where I read the stories first over the weekend, they took a sample of the numbers and discovered that at least half of those numbers had traces of the Pegasus software. And what we've seen is that Cyril Ramaphosa is not the only head of state. Apparently, Rwanda was interested in him in 2019. But France's Emmanuel Macron, it's a G7 country. Morocco was interested in him. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan, the former cricketer, he was investigated, or he was interested, or India was interested in him. And there were another 11 or 12 heads of states, journalists, lawyers, senior diplomats. It looks like people have been willing to bend the rules very clearly to spy on other people, including the wife of the Washington Post reporter who was murdered in the in the Saudi Arabia embassy in Istanbul. So it looks like this software, once it gets onto someone's phone, according to the researchers, it will give them more control over the phone than us users actually have. It's called root access. So you're basically in the bottom and the essence of the phone. And what they do is they can read your messages, see your pictures, see all your contacts, read through your WhatsApps, etc., etc. And this is what was understood. Jeff Bezos had some salacious pictures, of himself that he sent to his new girlfriend. He's just got divorced, and those pictures came out. And it bizarrely, someone tried to blackmail him, and his response was to just go public with it and blow it. The potential is pretty significant. You were going to say?
Toby, how does the software get onto or into the phone? That's what I don't understand.
I'm afraid we don't know that yet, but it seems that the software company has found a way of doing that, of getting it onto our phones, and we would never know. In the past, you would have to open something. Bezos was sent a video via WhatsApp by MBS, and apparently that's how it was. The software, that's how the hack was got onto his phone. Nowadays, we don't even know. Apparently, Pegasus is so efficient, it can get onto our phones and we won't even know it's happened. A missed call, as some say, some other way of inserting the software. The good news, though, is that clearly while Facebook and Google and the rest of the surveillance capitalism economy are interested in us mere mortals, a software application like Pegasus is very expensive. It's controlled by an Israeli government ministry. Apparently, it can only be sold to other countries. So at least we know that, if we take that 50,000 cache of numbers, only 50,000 people in the world are of interest to these nefarious countries or agents that use the software. So it's not going to affect all of us, thankfully, but those 50,000 people include our own president, the head of France, Pakistan, looks like Morocco, who were interested in Macron in 2019, were also very interested in their own king. There's lots of, one of the countries was spying on its own royal family, so they're checking what's going on around them. When you become a repressive regime and you're worried about insurrection, you worried about it from your own team as well. It's or your own family or your own country. It's really quite remarkable. And India has also been spying on a lot of the head of the opposition, the leader of the opposition party. I mean, it's quite diabolical. But it also reminds us, Annika, that our devices are not safe. We have this delusion that we put a password protection on our phones, and then you can leave your password number in a note on your phone. Never do that. Us mere mortals need to be more and more paranoid. Really paranoid. Don't use the same password for more than one website or app. Run antivirus software. I'm a big fan of Kaspersky. Use a password manager like LastPass or 1Password or Dashlane, and use a second way of verifying it. The websites call it two-factor authentication. Don't be fooled by the words. Your password is one factor. The other factor is either an SMS that gets sent to you, or better, start using an authenticator app. Microsoft and Google make them, so does LastPass and a couple of other people. So instead of getting sent an SMS when you log into something, rather use an authenticator app. Part of the reason is that, as we've seen with people who've had internet banking heists, people steal your SIM card so that they can get your bank, do a SIM swap so that when the SMS comes, they've got that. So don't use SMS. If you can, move to an authenticator app, and always update your software on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, everything. Always update your phone and run good security software.
Toby, a quick question, and I know that it's not Pegasus related, but it's something that plagues me, and I cannot get my head around every single day it happens. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend who's pregnant about what she's going to need for her baby, and the next minute on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, there were all sorts of baby products being advertised. I'm not having a baby. How on earth did they find out that that's what I was talking about?
So this is a frequent question, and the chances are, look, your phone can't spy on you unless you're a head of state or I don't think I'm the kind of journalist the government wants to spy on. I mean, everything I want to say about the idiots in Parliament, or the idiots, the alleged idiots everywhere, I say on Twitter. But what generally happens is that even though you're having conversations with someone, you've probably searched for that. And because you've searched for that through Google or one of the other services, that will show up in your feed. But it is really scary, isn't it, Annika? I'm not a user, I delete it off my phone, but I have lots of friends who've said they've searched for things like hemorrhoid cream, or had a conversation in WhatsApp and mentioned hemorrhoid cream, and the next thing they're getting a hemorrhoid advert. So like, hemorrhoid's a word none of us would generally use. So there's a good experiment for you and for the viewers. Search for something completely out of your term of reference, conflict of interest or accountability. Obviously, those are not phrases the ruling party uses. And if you start getting adverts for that, then Facebook is really listening to your WhatsApp message.
Okay, Toby, we're going to do this. Hemorrhoid cream, hemorrhoid cream, hemorrhoid cream. We're going to see what happens. Okay, I'll let you know. Thank you so much for joining us, Toby. Right. That was tech expert Toby Shapshak. He's the editor of Stuff magazine, and the presidency thus far on the Pegasus allegations have decided not to comment.